Let's take two of the vaccines. The Pfizer is called Pfizer-BioNTech, and the other one is called Moderna. They both have the recipe to make the spike.
This genetic bioweapon is really a biological bull in a china shop. I mean, it does so many damage. And I mean, I've given lectures. We were together last January. I gave a lecture in Florida on the mechanisms of injury. And the reality is you can't keep up. I mean, we know 28 mechanisms by which it causes cancer alone.
And the recipe is called RNA. I know it's a tricky thing to remember, but there's a recipe, just like a recipe to make a cake now. And that recipe is called RNA. That goes into your muscle, and your muscle starts to make the spike. Now, this is the spike from the virus, remember, but it isn't the whole virus, it's a piece of it. And now that wakes up the immune system, right?
I mean, it was shocking from the moment we looked at the ingredients before anyone was injected. Shocking enough to like basically set down my entire life's work to try to stop it. That's not because I'm super courage. That's how serious this is. But you genetically they're genetically modifying people, claiming they're giving them a vaccine and then genetically modifying them so that they will produce a variety of poisons, mostly the spike protein of the man-made designed SARS-CoV-2 virus, which is the most toxic part of it. And normally nobody's body would be producing it. And then they're producing this random splay of protein junk, which can trigger autoimmune diseases in every direction.
Now, in the case of AstraZeneca, that vaccine, get this, they put again the recipe for the spike into a cold virus, a virus that causes the common cold. Isn't that amazing? And this is a dead virus. It won't give you a cold, but it's a way to get it into your body. And now you make the spike, and again, you wake up the immune system.
But then what's worse is, they claimed that what was in it was modified messenger RNA, modified both so that it would screw up and create all these random proteins as well as a spike protein, but modified so that it would persist. And nobody knew how long. In other words, so my body is going to start producing foreign proteins and identifying itself as a foreigner to be attacked by my own immune system. But for how long? Well, nobody knows, because this is completely experimental, this new N1 methyl pseudouridinated version of messenger RNA.
There's at least 7 different types of vaccines, though. They're the main ones we have at the moment. One of them is interesting. It's the whole virus, right? And it's been disabled. It's actually been treated with chemicals, and that's used as a vaccine. Now, that's got loads of things for the immune system to see, not just the spike, you see. So that may turn out to be a really effective vaccine.
30% of the genetic material in there is DNA, and it includes plasmid DNA, and it includes, in the case of Pfizer, completely covered up that it could even possibly be there, and the fraud they committed to the FDA and the Public Health Agency, European Agency, etc., that they put in these genetic sequences which were derived from the simian virus, not the virus, but some specific genetic sequences, which we've known since 1990 research. These are genetic hacking tools. When you put foreign DNA with something like a pegylated nanoparticle into a human cell or any mammal cell, and if you deliver as well these little SV40 promoter enhancer sequences, then what that does, and this is pre-existing research, that will cause the DNA to be moved into the nucleus and cause it to be incorporated. So you're permanently genetically modifying and damaging the genetic code of the humans.
They're the main ways that these vaccines work.
Thanks, Luke.